Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive.
They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Jones looking to throw right away.
Dancing to his left, and his first look is incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Jones. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Stevenson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Bucs at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And last week, not only on the scoreboard, but I saw it on tape as well. Definitely not one of their finer performances because they were outclassed pretty much right from the start. So I think there'll be a renewed emphasis on trying to be a little better out of the gate in this one so they don't fall into a big hole.
12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And some space here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Throwing on first down. Stevenson completes it to Fant on the right side. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 71 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
To throw on second down. Stevenson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are on the board first here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt? Turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Point after here coming up. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
The numbers there for Brown from a week ago. 5 catches, 61 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here into the hands of Boyd.
First catch for the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Throwing, Jones.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
hands it off out of the gun.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And this one is right down the middle.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Stevenson.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Back to throw. Stevenson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
The lessons will continue. This rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Stevenson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Operating from the gun, Jones. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stevenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They go play action here on 1st down.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he's got it inside the 10. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 49 yards.
Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
And award that sack to Boogie Basham.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw it for it. How about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, It took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Saints again ready to go on offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then...
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming.
Play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they've got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stevenson, touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bucs are able to add on to their first half lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, You're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
And this offense on third down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Stevenson. He's got his big tight end, Fant.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Well, this looks like a roughing call.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Bateman going to get it now on the jet sweep.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Off the play fake. Stevenson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And it'll end there as he goes out of bounds, but a heck of a return all the way inside the opposite 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Now Jones on 1st down. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Buccaneers have it.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now The question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Eddie Pinheiro on now. This one from 35 yards away. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now they'll run on the draw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 103 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Stevenson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that is incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Stevenson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. This caught. Reception by Holmes. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. To throw again on second down. Jones. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Back to throw again. Over the middle here to Brown. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Bucs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stevenson. This is the tight end Fant. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Condors who have the lead. Tony Pollard, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And a big reason why they have this big lead, the running game. They're over 100 yards as a team, and it's been the catalyst for this offense. Meanwhile, for the Saints, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
113 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
On first down, Stevenson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. On third down, Stevenson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, Jones. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Jones. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Complete to number 85. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second and
throwing again on second down. Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up third down and 3 yards to go.
They'll look to throw again. He completes it to Boyd.
And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That's good.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. A gain of 2.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones got a man and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. To throw on 2nd down. Stevenson
going right back to Fant. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He's got his tight end Fant. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Operating from the gun, Stevenson.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Just keeping the play alive. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Stevenson.
This caught by Fant toward the sideline.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Jones. And it's a fumble. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. Jones now to throw on 3rd down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of looking behind it, and that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. So another good job defensively, because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all, because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. From the gun on 3rd down, Stevenson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stevenson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this one is incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stevenson.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
The 3rd down pass, complete to number 84. A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Buccaneers. That's
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he stopped immediately there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Stevenson finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stevenson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Flush to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Going for it with Sanders. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Stevenson. A bullet throw, but incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now Jones throwing to start the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Jones on 3rd down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stevenson. And that will be incomplete. So here we go. He's made 7. This to tie the record with 8 field goals made in a game. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone. But still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So out come the Bucs now. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stevenson.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, after that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert. And my goodness, another interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Buccaneers will take over possession here up at the 44. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. In the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So time has run out on what will be a